Hello, welcome to Draw Something, week number 41. My name's Andy, and tonight I'm going to be doing live drawing by request. This is my 41st week doing this. Not consecutively, I've taken a few weeks off, but this is my 41st Draw Something stream. And tonight's theme is going to be reptiles. So alligators, snakes, turtles. I always remember the turtles are reptiles because of Over the Hedge. Just a random 2000s movie reference there. Let me go ahead and transition over to the multi-view. Alright, so the floor is open for requests. If you just... I'm sorry, that sounded much more like a DJ than an art streamer. But yeah, like, how this show works is I'll just be drawing my own prompts that I came up with myself before the stream. But if a request comes in the chat for something for me to draw, I will draw that. I will take that request. But for right now, I'm going to go ahead and work on one of the prompts I wrote out for myself. Gotta be honest, this was a harder topic than I thought it was going to be. I was trying to think of something reptile related that would, inspire me, and it was, I don't know, I was having trouble with it. I was brainstorming all day. Let me go ahead and do the first one here on my list. Alright, so I'm starting by drawing a lizard making a phone call. There is more to this, it's just this is what we're starting with. Alright, so Lizard's talking to someone on the phone. And the person on the end is responding super excitedly with a heart, so you can tell that they're like excited in a good way. If I just left it as all exclamation points, it would probably look more like it could be interpreted as them just going insane or being super angry. But no, it's joy. Go ahead and draw the old-fashioned telephone here. This drawing, you know, might take place 30 years ago. Or, heck, with that kind of telephone, maybe 40 years ago. But yeah, so a scientific fact about lizards that I learned years ago, I think I was fairly young when I learned this, maybe, is lizards can drop their tails and just, that's it. They lose their tails and the tail will slowly grow back. I did do some research before the stream after coming up with this prompt, and I'm just gonna, you know, go on record saying this, what I'm about to draw is not scientifically accurate, but then again, I'm drawing a lizard talking on a telephone, so there's already, I'm already kind of stretching realism here. But yeah, so lizards lose their tails, and in real life, they'll just leave them behind, and that's it. No more to it. The tail will usually last like a day or two, and then it'll just wither and dissolve, I guess. I'm guessing they're biodegradable. But in this case, what happens in this strange parallel universe where lizards can talk on telephones is the tails end up, they do separate, but they don't just wither and die. They actually spawn a mind and conscious of their own. And it's been said that lizards can lose their tails several times in a lifetime, so not only do we have a new separated tail, but we also have the past separated tails coming together for a reunion. Because really, why should a lizard, you know, go through all the trouble of giving actual birth to another lizard when he can just lose his tail and therefore create new life? Alright, so I just gotta draw out some of the tails. Alright, I see a couple of new viewers have hopped on in the last couple of minutes, I think, so I'll just go over again what I'm drawing here. And also, welcome to you. I'm sorry, I'm being so rude. Thank you all for joining me tonight. So right now, the theme tonight is reptiles, so I'm starting off with a drawing of a lizard, and the lizard separated with its tail. It lost its tail, as real lizards do. But in this parallel universe, the lizard's tails end up separating and growing a mind and a conscience of their own, like, almost instantaneously. So it's essentially like giving birth to a new child. So they're having so all of the lizard's previous tails have come to witness the birth of the latest lizard tail. Or the separation of the latest lizard tail. But it's supposed to, you know, it's being celebrated like it's a new birth. This is just the weird stuff my mind comes up with. Alright. So I think that'll basically sum it up. Alright, so there we go. Let me go ahead and draw some family photos here on the wall in this first scene. Ah, Marky Mark Wah, yes, and welcome. I will add it to my list. Alright, add that to my list. Thank you, Mark, for the request. Should be getting to that in just a minute here. Alright, so yeah, this weirdo drawing I just did of a lizard and her three tails that she once separated with, and she just separated with her fourth tail. And the tails have all grown up and gotten lives of their own, or one of them has. Number one is already, grown up and left the house. Number two, I think, is like about to graduate high school, and number three is still like a teenager. But number four is just born or just separated. So yeah, they're having a celebration to celebrate the separation of tail number four. Just a very weird twist on the whole lizard separating from their tails, which is a very real thing. So let me go ahead and bring up the larger view for this. And there we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start on Marky Mark Wah's request. He wanted something with a snake and a scorpion. And I actually did have a fancy drawing figured out for tonight that I was actually going to do next. Mark, if you wouldn't mind, can I do this next drawing before I get into your request? Because this is one I really wanted to do. And it does star a certain fancy character that I've included in several of my drawings. Oh, alright, thank you, Marky Mark. So, what I'm drawing here is a couple of animals drinking tea together. But what animals in particular is where the twist comes in. And also what time of history this is taking place in is also a big factor. So one of my recurring characters in my drawings is the Fancy Giraffe with a top hat and a monocle, which I have an emote for. I'm going to go ahead and explode that over the screen. Oh, I guess I don't have that command set up yet. Whoops. Let me try that again. Get several more of them on the screen there. So yes, the Fancy Giraffe is, of course, fancy. He doesn't show any emotion if he can help it, and he enjoys all fancy things, such as a spot of tea. But, you know, being fancy and having riches, he has access to some technology that some of the other animals may not have quite yet. And that may or may not include a time machine. Hold on a second, I drew this animal smiling. I don't want him to be smiling. He's supposed to be fancy and emotionless. Alrighty, so just drawing out the basic characters here. Let me also go ahead and add a background. Alright, so, to elaborate a little more on this scene, so the Fancy Giraffe wanted to, didn't feel like drinking in his own present time where he currently lives. So, you know, roughly 2022 AD. He decided that wasn't fancy enough, so he decided to travel back in time to the prehistoric age to have tea with a similarly long-necked fancy creature. And thus, we meet the Fancy Stegosaurus, also wearing a top hat and monocle. He'll be a little more clear once I trace over him, but you can probably see him fine enough right now, as is. The Fancy Giraffe brought his own fine china for drinking. The Stegosaurus is drinking out of, well, what was probably considered ultra fancy by the standards of this time. A stone cup, hand carved, even though, you know, he doesn't have hands, which makes it all the more fancy and mysterious. Gonna just slightly redesign the giraffe here. Alright, drawing a volcano here in the background. I'm also going to draw a special badge on both of the characters' necks, torsos, roughly around that area. Then I'll show a close-up of what that badge says. Society of Fancy Long Necks. Hold on a second. Hey, Lucky Paradox, great to see you. I'm doing fine. I was just on Lucky Paradox's stream an hour or two ago. Let me go ahead and give him a shout out. He's an awesome streamer. He streams art like me. Huh. I wonder if my commands need to be reset, because I've tried 2 of them tonight and neither of them have worked. I'll just go ahead and put his URL there in the chat. There we go. But yes, he's a great art streamer. Definitely go check him out, give him a follow. So yeah, Society of Fancy Longnecks Across Time and Space. Lucky Paradox, I only actually, this is just, this actually isn't even a request. I have 1 request from Mark that I'm still, waiting for inspiration to strike for, so I'm, haven't gotten to that yet. So you are more than welcome to drop a request in the chat. Ninja Chicken. So my theme tonight is reptiles. I could make an exception, but I was just letting you know that that's my theme for tonight. Usually I go by that theme, but I could also do a Ninja Chicken and break away from the theme. I just usually have the theme there just so it's easier for others to come up with something, because if I just have it wide open, it can be hard to kind of, think of one specific theme to request. Oh, a Ninja Snake? Absolutely. Let me add that to my list. Alright, so there we go. Society of Fancy Longnecks. Oh, and yeah, I was also going to draw the Fancy Giraffe's time machine, because, I mean, he did have to get to the prehistoric age somehow. Lucky Paradox, I should just call you Lucky. Lucky, it's been a pretty good week. What am I seeing here? Ah, thank you for the gift sub, Lucky. I bet Sean C will greatly appreciate that. Marky Mark, what? You could be right about that. I'm no dinosaur expert. Does the Brontosaurus have the really long neck? I was thinking it was the Stegosaurus. I could be totally wrong. I should have done my research better. If it's actually the Brontosaurus, I can just call it the Brontosaurus now. It's pretty flexible. It's a pretty vague dinosaur design anyway, so really it's, you know, it can be one or the other. Alright, there we go. Alright, I think that'll do. We'll go ahead and date and initial it. And I just made that, this is the first time I've made that mistake in 19 days. Can't believe it took me that long to make that mistake. No, it's not 2021, it is 2022. Alright, let me go ahead and bring up the large review. So yeah, there we go. We got the Fancy Giraffe and the Fancy Stegosaurus or Brontosaurus having a spot of tea. And Chauncey, thank you for being here. Welcome. Great to see you as always. Alright, so I should probably get around to Marky Mark Wah's request for a drawing featuring a snake and a scorpion. So let me go ahead and get started on that here. Alright, so I have featured a scorpion on the show a couple of times. I've drawn a scorpion a couple of times. Though not for a while. It's been a good 20 weeks at least. So I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, feature another scorpion here. This is going to be a Fancy scorpion. Going to continue the Fancy theme. And continue speaking in a Fancy voice when I feel like it. But yeah, right now I'm going to draw... So I think the last time I drew a scorpion, it was like a sword fight between him and A cactus with a backwards cap. That was one of my earlier drawings I did. Was a cactus with its shades and a backwards cap. And he and the scorpion were sword fighting with each other, with the scorpion using its tail as a sword. Sometimes my mouth can't even speak words properly. But this is not going to be a traditional sword fight because that's just not fancy enough for our fancy animals. Fancy. Now, instead they're going to be fancy. A real man's sport. Actually, to be honest, I can either do fencing or I can do golf. I could honestly do golf. That might actually be better because I haven't actually drawn characters playing golf yet. So you know what? I'm gonna have them playing golf because that's a real fancy man sport. That's well, it's a very fancy man sport. That's all there is to say. Actually, I mean, the one time I drew a character with a golf club was I did a drawing interpretation of the song Dance Monkey by Tones and I referenced the music video which stars a bunch of old guys playing golf, and I love that video, so I decided to incorporate that into the drawing. But that was over 20 weeks ago, so it's time for a return of golf. Just gotta find my footing here. Hold on. To be honest, I could probably spend like a whole half hour just sitting here, you know, erasing it, then drawing it again, then erasing it, then drawing it again, trying to be a perfectionist. I'm gonna try to avoid that, because that might not be the most entertaining thing to watch. Hold on a second. I think I'm gonna have the club facing the other way. That seems like a more appropriate pose for it. So I'm going to start tracing over everything now. I've done the basic outlines. I'm going to add a little bit more detail. Now, unlike the Fancy Giraffe, I'm going to actually show a little bit of emotion in these expressions. Just for comedic effect. So, just throwing in my 2 cents here. I've never played actual golf. I played mini golf quite a few times, but I have never actually played real golf. And I'm not sure it would really be my my cup of tea, so to speak. I mean, it might be worth a shot, but I mean, not only is it just kind of more entertaining to do mini golf with all the, you know, fun little colorful obstacles and such, instead of just kind of a big field of some sand traps and some other stuff. It just doesn't seem nearly as visually exciting. But apparently it's also pretty hard. Again, though, so mini golf can be pretty difficult too, but at least, again, there's all the fun little visual touches. I don't know. Has anyone in the chat played golf? Yeah, lucky. I can relate to that. Really, Mark? Interesting. How far in the past, if you don't mind me asking? Actually, you don't need to answer that. Did you ever win any championships or score any trophies? Alright, so I'm drawing the sand trap here, and Mr. Fancy Scorpion's ball has fallen into the sand trap. Hence his angry glare at Fancy Snake as he just knocks his ball even further closer to the hole. Mark. Oh, well, can't win them all. I mean, obviously, your main calling on this planet is to sing. Maybe it isn't necessarily to play golf. Isn't necessarily to play golf. Sorry, I should have enunciated that a little bit better. I'm not very good at enunciating. I'll just stumble through my words so quick to get it out of my mouth it doesn't have time to sound articulate. That's on stream or off stream. Golf with a cigar in one hand and I'm very close by. Wow, so you actually golf with one hand? That's pretty impressive. Just holding one hand and then hole in one, or even a birdie. That's some mad skill. Hold on a second here. Oh, okay. So, Marky Mark, I guess I had them mixed up in my head. That was a Brontosaurus I was thinking of. You know what it was? The entire time I was, coming up with the Stegosaurus idea, all I could think of was that, does anyone else know here, anyone else here know about Ass Stuff movie? That, series of, animated shorts on YouTube? There's one particular recurring joke where a Stegosaurus comes out of nowhere and stomps on something, and then it zooms out to show him like, I am a Stegosaurus. And in that cartoon, I recall him having a very Brontosaurus-esque appearance where he just had the long neck. So I was going off of that cartoon and not actual scientific images or evidence. So that's my bad. Total integrity fail right there. My goodness, how is it already almost 8 o'clock? I've been doing this for an hour? This is like only my third drawing. That's nuts. Sinclair gas. That sounds familiar. Also, don't forget, if we're talking about gas companies, don't forget about Dynaco. Alrighty, I think this will probably do. I'll definitely add a little more color detail to the snake in the coloring process. This is just kind of the basic framework. When I color it in, it'll look a lot more alive. But this is I think this is a good start. So let me see here. This was for Murky Murkwa here on Twitch. Or I'm sorry, Murky Murkwa. And maybe don't have it, you know, smushed up against the scorpion's face. He's going through enough as it is. Alright, let me go ahead and bring up the larger view. Alright, there we go. A friendly, question mark, game of golf between two fancy individuals. And one that very well might end with this guy getting stung. I have a hunch. Alrighty, well, I got another request to fulfill for Lucky Paradox. I'm gonna go ahead and do a ninja snake. Alright, let me just get my head in the game here. What's the best way to do this? I wonder. Hold on here. Just gotta think this through. Alright, yeah, gotta start this over. Oh, Lucky Paradox? No, I mean, but feel free to give suggestions. But I was thinking the exact same thing, just an opening for the eyes and the rest of it just black. But since the snake just doesn't really have like a, you know, it's not like a human where the head is like a completely separate part of the body. Like the head is just kind of like an extension of the body, so have to, you know, kind of do it a little differently, but it should still be pretty similar. arms still have loose floppy arms to the side. Yeah, sure. Oh, Cell Art, thank you so much for the raid. I was just on her channel a little while ago. Let me go ahead and give her a shout out. Although since my shout out command isn't working, I'll just go ahead and put the URL for her channel in the chat. There we go. Go give her a follow. She's a great streamer. Does art just like I do. Not just like I do, but she does art as well as me. Or, she does art. She streams art. I also stream art, but she is also a good art streamer. Definitely go give her a follow. Silent Soto, welcome. Great to have you here. So yeah, this isn't just a, I guess I should probably introduce myself. Hi there, my name's Andy, and this is live drawing by request. So what I do is I take requests from the chat, and I put them here on the paper. And Ocel, this is going to be a snake. I haven't fully traced it over yet, but this is supposed to be a ninja snake. So it's a snake with a ninja mask. Oh, Sean C., thank you. I was waiting for that. Let me go ahead and do them in the right order. I'll do the stretch first. Thank you, Sean C. And thank you for the hydrate. So yeah, this isn't just a ninja snake. This is a super psycho hyper ninja snake. His eyes are all weird. He's got these big arched angry eyebrows. And at Lucky Paradox's request, I put a couple of big floppy arms on either side of him. Alright, so right now I'm just kind of tracing over what I've drawn so far, what I've sketched so far. Marky Mark Wad, there is no saying you can't redeem a second stretch for me. I could probably use another stretch. I've been here for an hour. Who am I kidding? That's not that long. But if you want to redeem another stretch, by all means. Oh, I'll sell art. Thank you so much. Alright, thank you for that, I'll art. Indeed, Marky Mark, indeed. Alright, just had to quick check and make sure that the whole paper drawing was on the screen at the moment, because with my old webcam, this is my second week using my new webcam, and with my previous webcam, it was a pretty consistent occurrence where part of the paper would go off screen. That doesn't seem to happen anymore, which is really nice. Also, enjoy your soup. I just had fried rice for dinner. Made it last night. One of my favorites. Hold on a second. Alright, so not only did this ninja here on the left get his butt handed to him, he also, his nunchucks literally snapped in half. The chain connecting the nunchucks snapped in half. That was a pretty intense whip with the tail. Lucky Paradox. That's very well said. Thank you. And thank you for the request. This is turning out really good so far. Hold on a second. To continue the trend of weapons getting broken, this ninja's shuriken throwing star also just got broken in half. Hold on a second here. Hold on a second here. Okay, yeah, so let me go ahead and just I'm gonna do kind of a hypnotic spiral for the background. Feel like it fits the theme. A second here. But yeah, there we go. There's the hyper psychotic ninja snake knocking out 2 ninjas. I think I'm gonna call it good here. Lucky, are you satisfied with this? Let me go ahead and bring up the larger view. Alrighty, once again, this is a live drawing by request show. If you have a request, Lucky, no problem. Have a great night. Thanks so much for being here. I'll see you around. Alright, so if anyone else has any requests they want to throw up or throw in here for a drawing, just let me know. Just drop a request in the chat. Right now, I'm going to go back to one of the prompts I wrote for myself. Alright, I think I know which one I'm going to do next. So far tonight I've done snakes and lizards and a brontosaurus. But I'm going to go ahead and take on a turtle for this next one. Irene Pena Music, awesome to see you here. Sorry I didn't stop by your stream today. I was going to, and I noticed did you end early? Because I thought I saw you. I saw that you went live like shortly after I got off work and was heading home, and then I went to tune in like an hour or so later, and you were already off. So was it a shorter stream or something, or was I just overly slow getting to your stream? I'm sure it could be that. But regardless, thank you so much for being here, as always. Knackered. Sorry. So, was it just a really long day, Irene? Hold on a second. Oh man, that's rough. Yeah, definitely hope you get some good sleep tonight, Irene. Does Hippo have another crazy spicy challenge he has coming up this week? Or is he taking the week off from the spiciness? I know he's got that thing coming up with LG Music and Davey. Yeah, Davey. Alright, so what I'm drawing here is a special kind of turtle. This is the candy variety of turtle, and of course I'm using the classic turtle candy ingredients, chocolate, caramel, and pecans. Although I haven't really gotten to the caramel yet. I've gotten the pecans down in the chocolate shell, but I haven't really gotten to the caramel yet. Oh, cool. You know what? I'm sure Hippo can use a break after that death nut ball. I should probably elaborate. Irene Pena Music, who I forgot to give a shout out to. Let me go ahead and do that right here. So she's an awesome music streamer. Definitely go give her a follow. She and her husband, also known as Great Hippo, stream every Saturday. They call it a late night date night. And oftentimes, Hippo will attempt to ingest something very hot and spicy. It could be a Carolina Reaper pepper. Or it could be some hot pepper jelly beans, the Bean Boozled Fiery 5 jelly beans. Ooh, Mark, definitely go get some of those. All right, so I got the candy turtle here. So to give a little more context to what's going on here, I think most people know of the classic Aesop fable, the tortoise and the hare. Well, here we have the candy turtle facing off against a candy peep, a bunny peep, an Easter peep. Yeah, sorry, Irene, it definitely sounds ludicrous, and is so ludicrous. For sure. I'm going to go ahead and just elaborate the background a little bit more before I start tracing stuff over here. It's not the first time I've done a candy-themed background, but it's been a while. So I got a candy cane tree here with cotton candy leaves. Can probably add more in a bit. Let me go ahead and start tracing this over. Give myself a little more time to brainstorm what I'm going to draw in the background. Oh my gosh, Irene, thank you for the 500 bits. There should be 5-bit cheerleaders on screen there, but I haven't programmed that far yet. I should probably get on that. But thank you so much, Irene. Always appreciated. Of course, Irene. It's always a fun time. Irene, thank you so much for being here as always. Thank you again for the bits. That was awesome. And have a great night and say goodnight to Evie for me. And Hippo. Alright, looks like I finally got the turtle all drawn. Or, yeah, all drawn. So I'm kind of taking inspiration from Lakitu from Mario Kart here. Got a Chocolate Kiss waving the green flag as the race begins. Alright, and I got a giant donut here in the background. I got a couple chocolate bars here for just... They're kind of like the equivalent of mountains in this universe. They're like slanted mountains. Alrighty, I think I feel good about this. Let me go ahead and date and initial it. Oh, oops. There we go. Transition to the larger view. Adding some boing sound effects. Can't go wrong with boing sound effects. There we go, a candified version of Tortoise and the Hare. Oh. Also, maybe let me go ahead and add some glittery texture to the Bunny Peep here. There we go. All right. Once again, this is a drawing by request show, so if you have a suggestion for a drawing you want me to try out, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Probably going to be going for just a little while longer here. I think I got one more of my original prompts here on the list. Let's see how many drawings I got so far here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so yeah, I could do one more and that'll get me to an even 6. I'm good with that. Hold on a second. So what we got here is a guy using some drain unplugger, a drain snake. Sean C, thank you. Alright, so this is part one of the drawing here. Just a guy pouring some drain cleaner down his sink. Go ahead and trace this over before I move on to the next part. Sean say that's an awesome dancing milk emote. Let me go ahead and rotate the paper here so I can trace over this a little easier. Actually, I guess it really doesn't make any difference. It's just more upright so I can see exactly what it is that I'm tracing over. Whereas here, I'm kind of tracing the lettering upside down. So here he's using a Drain Snake brand drain cleaner. The snake part is going to come into play here pretty soon. Alright, so let me just go ahead and add some quick onomatopoeia here. Some glugging as the drain cleaner goes into the sink. Alright, now time for part 2. So when the drain cleaner goes down the drain, it appropriately turns into a snake. Which basically goes through and cleans the drain pipe. Of course, I'm going to add some little sparkles to him because he's nice and clean. Hey, Mike Brady, great to see you. This is actually planning on this being the last drawing for tonight, but if you have a request you want to throw in, I wouldn't object. Actually, I would encourage it. Or if you just want to hang out, that's awesome too. Great to see you here, as always. Thank you, Mike Brady. Yeah, I was honestly kind of blown away when I saw that it was almost 8 o'clock and I've been going for nearly an hour, and I was only on my 3rd drawing. I feel like it hadn't been anywhere near that long. Oh, you know what? Some of the paper is not on the camera. Thought I was past having that problem. Guess I'm not. Alright, well I readjusted it, so it should be fine now. Hopefully. Yeah, just drawing some of the filth. See, I got all the nasty, disgusting gunk in there. Just got the gunk and the hair sticking out of it. It's all gross and disgusting. Unlike what the snake has already passed by, which is all clean and shiny and sparkly. That's why drain snake comes highly recommended by all kitchen experts or all drain experts. Most drain experts. Some of them just didn't get the hype. But most drain experts agree that drain snake drain cleaner is the way to go. Mike Brady, I haven't. I actually did have. I did have an idea for a snake charmer pick. I was gonna just kind of go the basic reversal route and have a snake charming a human out of a basket. I could go ahead and end the night with that. But first, let me go ahead and finish up this drawing right here. And I'll bring up the larger view. Alrighty, yeah. Second. All right, just about done here. All right, there we go. Got a reverse snake charmer pick. Or I guess you could call it the human charmer. Yeah, I think that'll do it. That brings my total for tonight up to 7 drawings, which is one more than last week. So that's pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. So I'm going to do my customary end of show recap and then find someone to raid. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up the larger size view again. I'll go through all my drawings I did tonight. Alright, so the first drawing I did tonight was kind of a weird one. It was a lizard who's lost his tail multiple times, or her tail multiple times, and each time a lizard loses its tail, the tail grows back. So this is the first tail that she lost, then the second tail, and the third tail. First tail's already, and of course when she loses a tail, it grows a conscience and mind of its own and moves out, or goes on its own way. Number 1 has been around long enough that it moved out to live a life of its own. Number 2 is about to graduate high school. Number 3 is still a teenager. And tail number 4, which was just separated or quote-unquote born, is just getting into the world. So she's the baby of the family. And yeah, just kind of a silly little drawing playing on how lizards keep losing their tails. Alright, next up, the Fancy Giraffe makes another appearance. He is, of course, a member of the Society of Fancy Longnecks Across Time and Space. So we met up with another member of that society, a Brontosaurus, which I initially called a Stegosaurus because I'm dumb. He went to the distant past to have some tea, a right spot of tea with a Brontosaurus, a fancy Brontosaurus at that. I just realized I forgot to give their monocles chains. Let me go ahead and fix that here. So yes, the Fancy Brontosaurus and the Fancy Giraffe having a fancy spot of fancy tea. There's the giraffe's fancy time machine there in the background. And yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a fancy spot of tea, 65 million years in the past. Alright, next up for Murky Wah, who I don't know if he's still here or not. But this was he wanted me to draw something involving a snake and a scorpion, possibly fancy. So I drew a fancy snake and a fancy scorpion playing golf. One of the fanciest and manliest of sports. Oh, Marky Wah, glad to see you're still here. So Scorpion here got his ball trapped in the sand trap, while the snake is making this smug grin as he knocks his ball even closer to the next hole. And I get the feeling by the time this game is over, he's going to have a big sting in his side. That Scorpion's not looking very pleased. Alright, next up for Lucky Paradox, I drew a ninja snake. He requested I add a couple floppy arms on either side. But yeah, he's knocking out one ninja on one side and knocking out another ninja on the other side. He's able to, hit these two ninjas at once. That's how quick-witted he is. And he also manages to break this ninja's nunchucks and break this ninja's throwing star. So yeah, he's he's a one tough snake, and you can see his eyes that he's maybe got a screw loose. All right, and next up we got a one I drew for myself. It's a turtle, a literal candy turtle, so chocolate shell with pecans for limbs and a head. He's got caramel oozing out of different orifices. So chocolate caramel pecans. And it's the tortoise and the hare, so it's a tortoise, a turtle versus a Bunny Peep, who is clearly ahead of him. And you got a chocolate kiss here, basically imitating Lakitu and waving the green flag to start the race. Then I just drew some various sweet stuff in the background. A candy tree with cotton candy leaves, a giant donut, some chocolate bars, giant chocolate bars here in the background, like slanted mountains. And that pretty much sums that one up. And then after that, I did the drain snake drawing. So you got this guy pouring some drain snake drain cleaner down his sink. And then the drain snake chases all the filth away as it goes through the drain and cleans everything up. So I like that one a lot. That's another good one. And then last but certainly not least, for DJ Mike Brady, a human charmer. A role reversal where the snake is the one charming the human out of his basket. And don't ask how the human is able to fit in this little tiny basket. It's you know, he just can. He just can. It's like its heart is this basket. It's much bigger on the inside than it looks on the outside. Alrighty, well that is 7 drawings, and I feel really good about all of them. So thank you to all who stopped by, made requests, hung out in the chat, made conversation. I appreciate all of you so much. I will be back on Saturday with my coloring stream. I'm going to color all of these drawings, and I'm sure they'll look even better in color. As for now, though, I'm going to go ahead and find someone to raid. Alright, so it looks like, let me see here. I was planning on raiding into an artist, another art streamer, but you know what? It's been a while since I've raided into John Robinson, so I might go ahead and do him. We already got a couple Sanctuary Watchers here in the chat, so I'll go ahead and raid John tonight. Actually, no. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and raid another streamer I'm following called, her name is Sindendipidus. She's currently playing Animal Crossing New Horizons, but she's got 13 viewers right now, so I figured I'll go ahead and give her a nice raid. And thank you everyone for the compliments. I definitely got to give credit to all of you for your awesome requests. They were very good tonight. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get the raid going. Have a great night, everyone. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.